Let's rock. Hans Themistode, FightHype.com. Here with my guy, Bernie the Boxer. How you feeling, man?
So listen, I'm doing good. I'm doing good. So you write for boxing scene?
Yeah, I was, yeah.
Okay, so are you a journalist? You got a journalist degree?
Absolutely.
Okay, so I I think was you a hater of Bud? I think that hands down so I think you be saying some shit. You be
Never.
saying some you got some disrespectful articles. I'm gonna go look your articles up, but
Go look him up.
I'm gonna go I'm gonna go check. I'm gonna go see what stuff you be writing because I always wonder who is Hans Stemerson. And you got
Yeah.
another name too, though. You go by another alias too.
Nah, definitely not. It's only Hans Themistode, brother. I don't go by anything else, man.
Okay.
Trust
All
me,
right. Well,
man.
what's good, huh?
Never,
Yep.
never got never no disrespect towards Bud. That's my guy. I might be a little too biased towards him, to be honest, but that's my guy, man. But
Okay.
all right, cool. Since he just grilled me, how you feeling tonight, though, man?
I'm all right. I'm a little worn out. Had a good day at work, good day at the gym, and just getting in the house and ate my dinner, and so I'm a little worn out, but I'm all right.
All right, appreciate you jumping on, man. Gotta get your thoughts on how you thought Canelo looked this past weekend against Munguia. What were your thoughts, man? And what were your thoughts actually heading into the fight?
Well, I knew he was supremely motivated. You could see he's still motivated to fight. And, I knew he wanted to put on a good performance, and he did. I thought he put on a great performance. McGee brung the fight, which we knew he would do that. He took some shots. He went down and got back up and kept firing. And, think experience played a huge factor in there. And, Canelo didn't show everything. He left some things to be desired. A couple of us was thinking, maybe he looked a little tired, but I don't know. Like I say, I think he looked good, and his experience. He on his Mayweather's tour right now. I think he like that. He where Mayweather's at, right where he was at. Just outpointing guys, beating guys might hurt him, but he just coast to victory.
Do you think we'll end up getting that David Benavidez fight, or you're just like, we probably ain't gonna get that, man?
Uh, I was thinking, well, after watching the Munguia fight, okay, I was thinking that maybe not. Like he don't really want Benavidez because you see, Munguia was successful when he threw his hands. He kept throwing punches, combinations, and he was successful. I think David Benavidez got a higher work rate than that. I think he more agile on his feet, his range, so maybe Canelo don't want I wouldn't say he's scared, but he just don't want them problems right now.
Well, it seems that he could get some other problems on his hands since Turkey Al-Sheikh, His Excellency, just recently said that, he's kind of working behind the scenes, but your man Crawford and Canelo
Yeah.
probably could fight in December, January. Like, do you think it's actually gonna happen? And why do you think right now is the right time for that fight to happen, man?
I think, like I say, they're two legends. Um, uh, uh, the weight is it's a little bit of gap, but like I say, Sugar Ray Robinson moved up from middleweight and fought Joey Maxwell for the light heavyweight championship. So I just think they two living legends right now. Like I say, they both like to counterpunch. They both like to use mental strategies to win the fight. So I think it's just a natural super fight. It's just two superpowers colliding. So I think that's what it'll be a blockbuster fight. They both have knockout power. Like I say, high ring IQ, and like I say, they really in their primes.
That's a fair point, but what do you have to say to people that'll push back and say, yeah, Crawford, if he gets the fight, that's great. It'll fatten his bank account. And if he beats Canelo, it's like, oh my gosh, like, where do you put him on the all-time pound for pound list? But if Canelo wins, it's almost just like, okay, he doesn't really gain too much. You know what I mean?
Well, you really can't add too much to him right now. Far as maybe to add to him a better beef. If he won the linear light heavyweight championship, he
Yeah.
can add just like Bud is adding with Mizardrov. He's fighting for a fourth division title. But far as like I say, still another one on your list, pound for pound, another one on your list that you beat. You beat every guy which way, it don't matter. He signed a contract. He got in the ring. How can you not get credit? You beat a pound for pound elite fighter.
But do you think that, and I know you're expecting your man Crawford to win anyways, but if Canelo was to pull that off, do you think he should get like a good amount of credit? Because Bud will probably have to move up the full three weight divisions. Like, should Canelo get
Definitely, like I said, because Bud, like I say, he coming in guns blazing.
mm,
Bud ain't no he got to get credit. If you beat Bud Crawford, you should get credit.
mm.
If you beat Bud Crawford, you should get credit. Uh, like I say, I like to say it was okay. Even though these guys are pitted in the weight, their difference, but I always reference the Salvador Sanchez Wilfredo Gomez fight. Well, they was close in range, but he got blew out when he moved up to out of his weight class. He got blew out by Salvador Sanchez, but he still got the all-time record for most defense at 122. He's one of the all-time great Puerto Rican fighters, and you know what I'm saying. It's one of the great wins on Salvador Sanchez record. So I think hey man, if you go in there and jump on Crawford and look spectacular, he deserved it. However he do it, he deserved it. Bud gets in there, either way, they both deserve it. Whoever wins, you got to get the credit. Like I say, plus he's not washed. He's not beat up. He's not battered. You understand? So you got to get credit. Come on, baby.
Now we look at a guy like Crawford, man, and he's kind of like in that he's pretty much in that Mayweather territory. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
People
yeah.
people would look at him and they'll just be like, if he loses to Canelo, some people might say, he doesn't have much to lose, but that aura of invincibility kind of just like disappears if he loses. Like, who do you think has more to lose in this fight, Canelo or Crawford?
Uh, I mean, yeah. You would want to say Bud.
Hmm.
I mean, because he never lost before. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? Um, then it'll be in the fashion that they lose. So it just all depends on the outcome, of the fight. But again, Canelo, we already seen him lost twice now. So
yeah.
that's nothing. That's nothing new. You know what I mean? So if Bud, it would be like I say, he would lose that. Now his O is gone. You know what I mean? But again, it'd be against the best. You know what I'm saying? And it won't even be about the weight. It'll be about because he with the best. Canelo is the best. So that's what it'd be about. And ain't no shame in that. But and truly, like I say, everybody points out to the money, and everything right now, everybody always points out the money. When we know, when we know, if you know that money is like that's like how can I say it? It's like already known. That's like an unknown. It's already known. You know what I mean? If like I say, let's say if I be say you became a brain surgeon, well, you already know you're going to be getting paid. You understand? You're not getting cheap money. So, like I say, so to fight Canelo, of course he's going to get the money, but again, it's the legacy. It's the will to achieve something. You understand?
Yeah.
People don't understand that. Everybody keep pointing out the paycheck instead of going up and fighting this guy's a dangerous guy.
Mm.
Damn, that's what this is about. I know the money gonna come with that. That's we're giving. We're gonna get paid. I already know I'm gonna be a millionaire off the fight, no matter what. However you slice it, I'm gonna get millions. But you understand, my aim is to win and become an undisputed champion and beat this great fighter.
Now, I know you're going to be honest with me no matter what. You know Crawford is your guy. And since Crawford
Yeah,
moved to welterweight, he done knocked everybody out. And even when he goes to 154 against Majimov, a lot of people expect him to not just win, but they expect him to eventually stop him also. Do you think
yeah.
Crawford power at 147 slash 154 pounds to actually make Canelo respect him? Nobody's pretty much hurt Canelo. But you think Crawford has that type of power though?
I think he has the type of boxing skills. I think he has that surprise ability. You understand? I think he has that surprise ability. He has pinpoint accuracy. He has great punch placement, and those are troubles for Canelo. And definitely got the power. He definitely got the power.
what would you say is the biggest thing that Crawford would have to look for in a fight against Canelo? Do you think it would be Canelo's power? Do you think it's his ring savvy? Like what exactly the weight, like just staying on him, staying on top of him, the pressure? What do you think is the number one thing?
Everything. That's why it'd be a hell of a feat if he did it.
Hmm, got
It'd
it.
be a hell of a feat if he did it. It'd be a hell of a feat.
It kind of seemed like a fight against Canelo was on the table at one point. Crawford could become a three-time undisputed champ, and then it kind of seemed like, it's not gonna happen. Crawford moved up to 154, and then he recently said, I'm only like two, three fights away from becoming undisputed at 154. And
Yeah,
now he could get this fight at 168. So it's probably more of a Crawford question, but do you see him, if he beats Canelo at 168, well, if he beats Madrimov at 154, then moved up to
gotta do that.
168
Yeah.
and then beats Canelo, do you see him moving back down to 54 to try to become undisputed again at 54?
Oh, I think I wouldn't say that. I think that'll be the fight to go. You can't get no bigger than Canelo. You know, so I think, like I'm saying, with everything that he be doing, everything that he's done, and like I say, to have a actually Lord willing, like I'm saying, if he beat Madrimov, Lord willing, then he'd be a four division champion. So then we'd be fighting Canelo. We'd be fighting for our fifth divisional championship along with undisputed. You understand? So it's like now we didn't just not get undisputed in three weight classes, but we got three weight classes and we got five weight classes and undisputed in three weight classes. So um just so much, just a lot to inspire to. A big task for sure. But again, we got Madrimov going up on August 3rd. Definitely can't take him lightly by one stretch of the imagination. You got the Sheik interested in throwing up that money. Like they say, what's the answer? 90 out of 100 questions is the dollar. And they're putting up the dollars. I don't know. I don't really know how true that is with the Sheik saying that. I don't know if it's a that I didn't see a quote from Twitter or that he tweeted or anything. It's probably just rumors and speculations, and you know, um, he throwing his money around. He can say outlandish things like that because I guess he has the money, to to make it happen, or if it could be possible. So, but like I say, you got August 3rd, man, August 3rd, and then we talk about that next. But if you ask me, like I say, that's the super fight. If you want to take giant King Kong versus Godzilla, or however you slice it, Batman versus Superman, this is that fight. And again, we are fighting two Benavidez of Canelo. What is he fighting for? You know, that's the one thing nobody asking him. What is he fighting for? What is his whole purpose of fighting? You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Nobody asks him that. So, and then you got to understand what Crawford's purpose is. So, like I say, is it to be undisputed, however you slice it, or you know, um, so again, how far you want to go with this thing, So I think
Yeah.
it's the best fight, it's the most intriguing fight, and we got to get past Madrimov first. Canelo just took care of business last week. We got to take care of business August 3rd, so we can even really seriously entertain that. But it sounds great.
I mean, a lot of people that I talk to about Madrimov, they kind of give me like an inquisitive look, like don't really know too much about the guy. And
Yeah.
I've seen the guy fight a lot, and the guy is really, really good. Like, do you view him as the best guy at 154, like Crawford say, or do you think it's still like Jermell or something like that?
If Bub believes that he's the best, then I have to second that. I watched him a little bit. I see how he's a tricky guy. He's kind of new. He's a new player in the game, being that he just won a championship. He only has 10 fights, but throughout his 10 fights, he's steady progressed. And again, he's a world champ. So, again, a lot of these guys, you ain't going to know him. Boxing not necessarily a mainstream. Plus, he's not an American. He's a foreign guy. So this was just a door opener.
Yeah.
And again, the boxing public, you got to say, see, these are people that can't be following the soap opera, which is boxing. Because again, we wanted to fight Tim Tszyu. Everybody thought we was gonna get the Tim Tszyu fight, right? That was like a sure fire like thing for us to fight Tim Tszyu.
Yeah.
who's not nationally known, United States known, big father. We were supposed to get that fight, but Zoo decided they persuaded him to take another. Who was he supposed to fight? Keith Thurman.
Yeah.
Okay, so they was persuaded him to fight Keith Thurman. Keith Thurman got hurt, so then they called up Fundora. So which was I think a good fight. Given that he was going to fight maybe a younger guy more with an experience. You know what I mean? Tim Zoo, because he jumped on Harrison. Mendoza was a good fighter, but kind of lacking in some areas. Um, like I say, Harrison was faded, and I don't know who else he fought. Did he knock out Ocampo? Okay, he looked good against knocking out Ocampo. We lost to Earl Spence. Um, so it's like to season him a little bit before you throw him against the pound for pound king. Fight him with a guy like a Keith Thurman. And so which I think was smart. But I was thinking that again we was gonna get the fight depending on how whatever he did, and you know what I mean. But so so again, like I say, we want to fight a more named guy, Tim Zoo or Fundora, but even they petition now for Fundora to drop the WBO belt and go somewhere else. So if you're keeping up with boxing, you got to understand what we're dealing with.
Yeah. Do you kind of look at, and make sure I word it correctly, but do you kind of like the big, I mean, obviously everybody wants to see Crawford and Madrimov, and the whole card on August 3rd is ridiculously
Yeah,
stacked. But
yeah.
the fight of the night is going to be Tim Zoo against Virgil Ortiz, man. That's going to be the fight of the night, man. Like, how do you see that fight playing out, man?
I mean, it could be something like Fundora and him, some similar to that.
Mm,
But I wanted to get back to one thing before I get on that. I wanted to say, for all those people that's like shaking their head or giving a confused look about Madrigal,
mm,
again, it sounds like beating a dead horse, but the writers ain't coming up with nothing to say, for anybody that's down in Madrigal or a reason why. Again, they're blackballing Crawford. Why is that not being more publicized? You know what I mean? For the fans, the boxing fans, the true people that want to see Crawford fight the best and fight all these people or whoever, whatever they say, why are they not like I say, it's the public knowledge. They're not fighting against it. Bud said, Bernard, he said, well, he told somebody, one of the reporters, he said, the hate is so loud. You know what I'm saying? The love is quiet, but the hate is so loud. That's why it seemed like I got more hate than love. But I really got a lot of love, but the hate is so loud. So, it's just like, ain't nobody understanding that, man, I don't know what they got against us, but they're trying to keep us down somehow.
Well, let me somewhat push back on that just a little bit. Like, yeah, Crawford definitely gets a lot of hate, and it does seem like he is getting like somewhat blackballed. But to be fair, I know Fundora, I mean, he has WBO and WBC belt. He technically can't fight until November. That's what the WBO and Sampson also told me. That's why they got the
Yeah,
interim title on the line for Crawford's fight. And if
yeah,
Fundora decides not to fight him, then they'll just end up stripping him, and Crawford will be elevated to full-time champ, and
yeah,
Van will probably try to fight like Errol Spence. So he probably
yeah.
is somewhat getting blackballed, but I think it's also just like, okay, let's wait and see like how things are gonna play out, you know?
Well, I think that I think that his star power, his credibility, gonna weigh through all those things. You know what I mean? Like I
Mm.
say, he's an undisputed champion 2 times, so he's held all those titles. He's elevated all those titles. So I feel like if they don't owe him nothing else, they're gonna have to. The organization's gonna make those guys either fight them or give up the titles.
Mm.
And I feel like like he's not really caring about nothing right now. If you got to give them to me by giving them up, then give them to me. I want to be undisputed champion. So, hopefully we get the fights that we want to see. But like you say, to go back to your point, you said Virgil, it's gonna be a hell of a fight. I
Yeah.
think Valenzuela and what's his name? What's
Pitbull,
the kid?
Pitbull.
Cruz gonna be crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, Baby Miller and Andy Ruiz gonna be crazy.
Now, all of those fights are gonna be nuts, man. But
Yes,
but
yes.
Tim Zoo versus Virgil Ortiz, man. Somebody getting hurt in that fight, man. So who do you see winning that one though? That's tough, man.
I'm gonna go with Zeus still.
Mm, okay,
I'm gonna go with Zeus still. I'm gonna
break it
go with
down for me.
Zeus. So somehow I'm gonna go with Zeus still. But I think they're about right at even though. I think they're about right at even. We still don't know how he would have did against Pandora had he not got cut.
Yeah,
I think that definitely messed with him a lot. Having to worry about the blood and keep going down your eye, and this guy's like I say, infernal. It kind of messed with his performance up just a little bit. But I think he was in great shape mentally and physically, and it carried him through. He just came up just short, but either way, whoever knows, just we know Virgil Ortiz didn't want to fight us, so hopefully, what I'm saying, if Zoo comes through, then we get the Zoo fight.
Is that something that makes sense to you? Like Crawford beats Magimo, of course. Does like a zoo fight make sense only from the standpoint of it really just seems like Crawford just wants to fight guys that got belts or and guys that, to bring him like a more elevated status. And at the moment, that's not like Tim Zoo, with the belt and things of that nature. So would that fight make sense for your man Crawford, or you're just like, not really?
Well, he's still ranked highly in the WBO.
Yeah, for sure.
So again, they might end up fighting for the WBO. You know what I mean? Like I know this is the interim championship, but they might end up fighting for the championship. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So they might end up fighting for that title, for that vacant title. Um, but like I say, Zoo is a big name, but if Virgil Ortiz definitely come and beat Zoo, you know, they're going to have something on the line for that, maybe a mandatory position or something in that nature too. So I think that even if Bud fought Virgil Ortiz for the vacant title, that'll be a huge thing because the Mexican fans and Virgil Ortiz is an undefeated guy, and if he beat Tim Zoo and beat him in a convincing manner, in a good fashion or just a good fight, yeah, I think it's gonna Virgil Ortiz is a hot name. He just been off the shelf for a little bit. He been on the shelf for a little bit, and kind of lost a little traction, a little steam, a little publicity being out the ring. But I think fighting on this card and this magnitude bring more eyes to him, and you know I think Crawford can get the fight. I mean, like I say, they talking about Boots moving up. You know what I mean? And so, like I say, we got a couple options to happen at 54, and are ready to take on all comers, man.
That's where I wanted to go because I remember when I saw you in New York. As soon as I brought up boots, you was coming at me. So
Yeah,
let me bring it up one more time, but in a different way. Is
yeah,
it like there's just like a lot of talk surrounding Crawford with just like a bunch of different guys like Majimov, Boots, Canelo. It's just like a bunch of different names. Tim Zul, possibly Virgil Ortiz, whatever. Like,
mhm.
how does he kind of like manage and navigate? Like, okay, I'm gonna fight this guy, but I'm probably not gonna fight this guy. If I move up to 68, okay, I'm probably done. Maybe I should fight this guy and this guy before I move to 68. Like, how does he kind of like manage it, you think, in your view?
Like I say, the ones that make sense. You know, uh, we didn't get the Canelo fight. They didn't. We Tim Zoo decided to go some other way. And so we had to make the best of it. So we fought Madrimov. You know, we
Mm.
caught up Madrimov. He got a championship. He'd bring us. We get past him, we'd be a 4 division championship. And now we in the door. We already kicked through mainstream. No matter how you slice it, we one of the biggest, most recognizable names in boxing. And so having that championship is another key, another like I say, feather in your cap to pursue the rest of what you want to do. I would say definitely, we nearing the end because what he's accomplished. You've been fighting forever, and been a pro for what 14, 15 years now. And like I say, they made it to the status. It's only a couple of things. What we doing? Like I say, we adding. These guys got championships. So whoever got the championship, we won championships. Those are adding. We already won everything at some other place. Now we're in somewhere new. We're conquering new territory, new land, and so that's it. Those are the fights that we're looking for. But like I say, if we happen to beat Madrimov, and then they call Canelo, of course, you want to take the Canelo fight. Uh, if we don't get the Canelo fight, we beat Madrimov. We see where we at, who we got. Whether it's gonna be Zoo, see if it's gonna be Ortiz. If Eddie Hearn or the Sheik want to put up the money for Boots, because to fight for the WBA title, if we, Lord willing, we win, you just whatever makes sense. And Crawford, he don't care who he fights for real.
When you look at a guy like Boots and Crawford, I mean, you know more than anybody, this dude is competitive as hell, bro.
Yeah,
Like, does he doesn't really like talk about Boots too much, and not in like a ducking way, but he's just more so just like, I'm on like another level right now. But
yeah,
does like
yeah.
but does a part of Crawford get like pissed off when Boots keeps calling him out and people keep saying that he's ducking under the part of him just say, yo, I'm gonna fight Boots and I'm gonna shut everybody up, man.
Uh, I would say that. I would say it's kind of grating on him a little bit. I would say that, being that he is so competitive. But Boots ain't really calling for the fight. Everybody's throwing it in Boots' face and saying it. So of course he's gonna, yes, you know what I mean. But I really think he got other plans with his career.
Hmm.
He rather go and make his own path. He just needs somebody to guide him and direct him and send him on his way. Put him on that trajectory. You know, no man ever wants to be to say no to something or feel like he won't stand up to a challenge. So like I say, I think he would get in the ring, but only to save face. I don't think he really believes he can beat Crawford. And like I say, he had 30 fights, but he haven't had the right 30 fights. He haven't been battle tested, he haven't been in no adversity at all. So but so yeah, Bud just keeping him, like he ain't really studying him because Boost don't got nothing. And again, like I say, I like Boost too though. I'm like Boost too, but I'm just talking from when I say he ain't got nothing. It's like again, you didn't even put me in position to fight for the title. You took the title knowing my hands was tied. You knew everything that was going on. Even forget the WBO, but you knew that we was gonna have to fight 2 times. You knew everything that was going on. You knew before they upgraded you to the title that I was still obligated to fight this man. And you know how business is, that it wasn't just so cut and dry and we don't know this and we don't know that. And you accepted the title anyway. You didn't ever force the champion to defend his title against you. You was happy to be upgraded to the championship. So it's like, no, you don't have nothing for me. You
But
feel
what
me?
what can Boots do if it's just like, okay, he had the interim title, Crawford, I know he's tied up and whatever, so I guess he can't fight Boots, but it's also, it just kind of seemed like on one end you're just like, well, Boots happily accepted it, and I'd push back and I'd say I don't think he happily accepted it. I think he would have took the Crawford fight, but it was just like, all right, they elevated me. I mean, I can't really like act for the Crawford fight. They elevated me. It is what it is, you know?
Nah, not tell him I don't want to be elevated. You can't elevate me. Who I'm gonna fight? I'm gonna fight Cody Crawley. I'm gonna fight Cody Crawley for the championship. That way, when I win, they can say in the new I wasn't upgraded. That's the thing wrong with boxing. People, y'all need to ban. Nobody should be upgraded to a champion. You can't be. That's actually an insult to a boxer.
Well,
That's
if you're gonna say that, which is fair, I mean, but Crawford is about to fight for also the WBO interim title, and if Fundora decides not to fight him, then he would be elevated as well. Even though, in my view, that wouldn't be Crawford's fault at all. It's just like, okay, Pandora vacated, he's gonna go fight Spence or whatever. So I don't look at it as a bad thing when anybody gets elevated, even if it's Crawford as well. But what would you say to that? It's like Crawford might
well,
get
we
taken off.
if well at the same okay. If it's like that, it's again they avoided us. We was gonna go for that title. They avoiding us. But the other titles that we get to solidify it, like I say, Lord willing, we get past Majormov. We won that title. If they upgrade us to WBO, we got upgraded. The IBF and the WBC, we coming for them. You feel me? So we might get elevated in one of them organization and bodies, and it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Because it'll just be like that. It'll just be like that. Or I don't know. Like I say, I would say Crawford would only it'd be annoying for us to do that now, to say, no, we want to fight for the title instead of not fighting a champion. It's too petty. You feel me? Like,
Yeah.
uh, I know Fundura was hurt, but I don't know then. Just ensure, just make the fight. You feel me? The only reason why we getting we really want to fight for that title. Then let me say that we the interim is just to keep us in line with it, but we
Yeah,
hoping that if we get past Madrimov, that Lord willing that we get Fedora next. Shit, everybody know Fedora. We want Fedora for them 2 titles, for them 3 titles.
for
Feel
sure.
me? Shit, that's where Crawford want to go.
Let me ask you this, man, and just from your view, I mean, maybe if you can give it from Crawford's view too, cool, whatever. But just from your view, do you look at Boots as, and when Crawford is retired, which could be this year, next year, whenever, but do you think Boots is the next guy up? Like he's the guy next after your man. Like he's gonna be pound for pound number one, or you think it's somebody else?
No, he not gonna be pound for pound number 1. And I like Boots, but I'm not he not gonna be pound for pound number 1.
So
I don't
who's
know
next
when.
up? Who do you think is next up?
You got, like I said, you got talking about pound for pound.
Yeah, so
You
it doesn't
got
have to be a 47 pounder.
you
Just
got
you
you got
think the next
you
guy.
got of course you got Shakur Stevenson. You
Mhm.
know what I'm saying? Of course you got Bam Rodriguez. You
Mm.
got Ina Inoue. You know what I'm saying? You got Usyk fighting Tyson Fury.
Yep.
Um, like I say, so we talking about for the top spots. I didn't just named all them. Of course, again, like I say, so next we talk about next. Like I say, these the young guys. You got Bam Rodriguez, you got Shakur Stevenson. Okay, of course you got Tank. He can still buy in there. Um, so yeah, shoot. I just like I say, I don't see it as Boots. I don't think he got the depth of competition, and let's just see more of him. He did some nice stuff in there, but again, you go watch Crawford's on his way up, man. On his he beating the people's asses, man. Boots, he boxing them up, but I don't know. Like I say, I like Boots too, though. Like I say, I'm just not sold on him being the next pound for pound greater and this or that.
Gotcha. And just my last question for you, man. Let me get your thoughts on the whole the Ryan Garcia thing, the Devin Haney thing. Do you think, I mean, you guys have always been clean, so it might be hard for you to like kind of maybe give like more of a on point answer for it because you, like I said, you guys always been clean. But just what are your thoughts on that whole stuff? And do you think that Devin should just be like, all right, let me get a rematch with this guy when things are more on an even playing field, you think?
Yeah, and you learn that from your ancestors. You learn that from your legends. Like Cotto did. What he did against Margarito. You understand? So, and he took a bloody beating. You know what I mean? That fight, and it was just a whole tragic the way he turned out. Something was wrong, but Cotto had to get in there and get it. So, I think that speaks. Says how Devin just maybe just a little fragile. Um, you know the the kids these days, they just a little softer. Every generation it seems like they get just a little softer. Where we come from. Everything was hard. We had to scrounge and really scrounge. To get things and to be somewhere, and you really had to get somewhere. You really had to be somebody. Coming up from where we come from. The years, our ancestors. Nowadays, everything since the 80s or whatever, and everything been kind of sweet for us. Everybody been kind of sweet. Everybody getting a lot of stuff and spoiled and everything. So this just ain't as tough as they used to be. So like to say not to want to fight them again is shameful. Like I say, mm, I don't know. I want to see him fight him again. I would want my rematch. I'm the type of guy who likes to settle things. So uh, and Ryan Garcia, I still don't think the steroids helped him. He just kicked Haney's ass. He was just gonna kick Haney's ass anyway. His shortcomings was his shortcomings, and he
So
just kicked Haney's ass.
you don't think the steroids helped him at all?
No, 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 because he got caught with the left hook. He got caught with the left hook, and then everybody know he got a good left hook, and he dropped him with the left hook.
So, but
Okay.
you telling me steroids didn't help at all, bro? Come on, man.
Nah, I mean, like I say, I thought Devin was gonna wash him, man. But
Mm.
Devin couldn't do nothing to get started with him. What about what Devin wasn't doing? You
I mean,
know, like I'm saying.
I mean, you make a great point, and I don't know
And
who.
Devin didn't never feel no type of way. He never felt no type of way. Like he never felt like, man, his punches were so hard or he was really strong, or he never said nothing like that. He never said nothing. He just went on with it. He never just was like, man, he's stronger than I thought, or you know, uh he never said nothing.
I mean, he got dropped about 3 times, and people thought it really should have been five. And I don't know who would have
Yeah.
won on an even playing field, but I it's just hard to say that somebody who was quote unquote on something, it didn't help them at all. I'd like to see a rematch with everything clean because I think it's a 50-50 fight.
I think I definitely okay. Now we see, but like I say, I think if anything, it was the not making weight at all, not stressing about it. He was just doing what he wanted. He was staying in shape, and no boy had to kill himself, to make that weight. So I think that alone, the whole mental aspect probably helped mess Devin up. Just period. He couldn't really get on his square. He really couldn't do what he normally do or get away with what he was doing because he probably was so messed up in his head already just from the whole thing. But again, you got to give Devin a lot of credit too because he didn't have to do that.
Yeah.
Devin could have walked out. Devin could have walked out. He didn't have to take the fight at all. You feel me? I think upon hindsight, I would yeah, I fucked the money. But
Yeah.
he's so sure that he could beat that guy. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? He was so sure that he could beat that guy. But like I say, I already got money, so I wouldn't have. It would. I would have shamed him. If he would have shamed Ryan Garcia would have been through.
Mm.
If Ryan Garcia would have missed that weight, if he would have went through and fought Devin wouldn't have fought him. Man, he'd be on Skid Row right now.
That's a good point.
He'd be on Skid Row right now. With all the mental stuff that he was doing, all the crazy stuff he's saying,
Yeah.
and then not to make the weight and to be disrespectful. I mean, but he wouldn't have did the beard thing. See, he did
Mm.
the beard thing because they got the weigh in already. They already weighed in that morning when nobody was around,
Yeah.
so they already knew that. When we got on stage and everybody seen it, you feel me? It was all showed in. They already been weighed in. They already ate. They already didn't. You know what I mean? So, uh, you live and you learn. It was exciting. The whole thing was exciting. Everybody live. You live and you learn. It's boxing. Nothing. It's always something to be unexpected in boxing.
Gotcha. Look, man, I appreciate you jumping on with me. This was a lot of fun. We're definitely gonna do it, definitely more often. And yeah, take a look at
Yes,
my
sir.
track record, man. You will not find any Crawford disrespect from me, brother. Look at my track
I,
record. man.
I got you, huh? Okay.
Gotcha,
Appreciate
man.
you.
Thank you, man.
Yes,
Appreciate you.
sir.
Have a good night.
Yep. You too.